Hey y'all, my name is Morgan. I'm a DIY and home decor blogger at charlestoncrafted.com and I love Pinterest. And today I'm going to show you one of my favorite new tools on Pinterest, which is the Pinterest Trends tool. Now the Pinterest Trends tool lets you explore when people are searching for certain topics and things on Pinterest to help you better plan your content calendar. So let me tell you, how can you use this data? Pinterest tells us that it takes 45 to 90 days for something that you pin to really kind of get going on Pinterest. So we're going to look at these different charts. I'm going to show you in just a minute, don't worry, and we're going to identify when things hit their peak, and you're going to want to schedule your blog posts, your pins, if you're sharing things from the past, those old pins, if you're rounding up your old content and others' contents and creating roundups, when you should share those roundups, when you should share your products. Find that peak date, and we're going to look 2 to 3 months in advance from that. So let's look at this. Let's see how we can figure out what to write, more topics and subtopics to write about, and when we should schedule that. Let's get at it.
To get to the Pinterest Trends tool, all you need to do is go to trends.pinterest.com. And I will remind you that this is only rolled out to the United States as of the time of this recording, so you're going to see all data from the United States. As this expands, you will see more countries and where you live. I'm sure they will be expanding it. Okay, so I'm going to just talk about the different parts of the Pinterest Trends tool, and then we will do some testing. So here at the top, you see Pinterest Trends, discover what people are looking for. You see a search bar, which we will come back to, and then they just have some examples for you. So they have 6 examples set up for me, and then at the very bottom, they have 100 trends talking about what are the official 100 trends for the year. So let's look at a few of these different sections. Let's look at the section on recipes, just the very first one. Let's just click on it to see what's in here. So you can see they're going ahead and comparing soup recipes and grilling recipes. I'll show you how to do your own custom search in just a minute, but right now let's just look at their example. So you can see soup recipes is blue, grilling recipes is green, and you can see soup really starts right around here, August 24th, starts moving up, September it's high, October peaks around November 16th, and then drops off right after Thanksgiving. Seems like people want a lot less soup probably the week after Thanksgiving. Ain't nobody cooking. And then it peaks back up, comes back down, work its way down. So you can kind of see, this makes sense if you're in the United States, where all this data is coming from. It gets cold, people make soup, it comes back down. Grilling is kind of the inverse of that. So you can see people grill in the summer. This comes up, we're going up in April, really peaking at June 1st, coming down, peaking again right at the 4th of July, and then fading back down. So here you can really get a snapshot of that data. And below that you have related terms. So these are big terms that a lot of people are searching for, and they have them labeled blue or green, depending on if they are soup or grilling. So you can see in here other subtopics: cauliflower soup, soups, lentil soup, cabbage soup, potato soup. And then for grilling, they have summer grilling recipes, healthy grilling recipes, grilling, smoker recipes, grilled chicken recipes. One more thing they have in here that I really like is for each of these categories, they have some examples of pins that do really well. So once you decide you're going to come in here and make some of these pins for your content, you can really get inspired by what is already doing well. All right, so you guys have taken a look at this. Let's do an example of one that we do from scratch together. Do an example of using the Pinterest Trends dashboard tool from scratch. So I am at trends.pinterest.com, same place. I'm going to go into the search bar and I'm going to type a word in. I like to start really broad, and since I do DIY home decor projects, I'm going to pick something in my niche. You pick whatever you like. So I'm going to go with patio. It's springtime here in Charleston, and I'm getting ready for spring. So let me go back and show you. When you type in patio there, you see all of these different subtopics that pop up. Patio ideas, outdoor patio ideas on a budget, patio furniture. It's actually pretty funny if you look at the graphs going down the page. They're all pretty similar because they all follow the same idea. So we're just going to go with patio for now. And then let's look at what this graph is and what this means and what I would use this for my content. So we can see patio peaks April 13th. So this is when people are probably planning to get their patios ready for spring. Kind of drops down a little bit up and down as normal, pops back up the end of April, pops up again in June, and then really falls down in August. It's too hot. Nobody cares. August 17th, maybe people are getting ready for Labor Day, want to clean up their patio, and it just goes down from there. So I'm looking at this chart, and I'm seeing that the peak is in April. Pinterest has told us that you want to have your content out 45 to 90 days before this date. So my rule of thumb is 2 to 3 months before it's going to peak. You want to be putting your pins out there so they have time to sort of gain that steam. So I'm going to write this down and I'm going to say patio peaks in April. So I'm going to want to be pinning patio content in January and February. Now I can come down here and see related terms. So related to patio, we have backyards, outdoor spaces, fire pits, porches, and decks. You can see they all have pretty much similar charts as far as peaking in the beginning and then dropping down. But let's say I want to add fire pits because maybe I'm planning to build a fire pit for my patio. So I'll put that in here. You'll see it's way lower, so you can't see all of the peaks and valleys as much. You can hover over it and watch those numbers and you can see, yep, if I'm going to do my patio, that's going to really peak here from April to May. So I want to get this content out in January and February. So you could write that under patio. You could write fire pit as a subcategory for content, and that also wants to be January and February. And remember, when you're planning your pins, you can come in here and see these are the kind of pins that do well for patio. So we can click over and you can see this isn't actually all tall images. People tell you, you want that 2 to 3 image, and that's true, but Pinterest is identifying a lot of square images and a lot of smaller, well, that one's promoted, so maybe not so much, but some smaller. This is a collage. This is just to give you ideas. These don't really have a lot of text overlay, a lot of natural colors, things to keep in mind when you're creating your pins. You can, of course, do the same for fire pits. So that's how I would use the tool to look up patios. Let's do one more example. And I'm once again at trends.pinterest.com, and this time I'm going to look up Christmas tree. And you can see I type in Christmas and it's telling me cookies, desserts, dinner, appetizer, crafts, Christmas Eve, and look at those charts, y'all. Look at that peak. Guess when people care about Christmas? Christmas. But we're going to try Christmas tree. Christmas tree ideas, Christmas tree decor, ribbon on Christmas tree, decorations. I'm just going to hit Christmas tree. And I'm going to go ahead down to this related terms, and I'm going to hit, let's see, Christmas tree decorations and ribbon on Christmas tree. That one's interesting to me. Wow, this is surprising. More people search for ribbon on Christmas tree than search for Christmas tree decorations right at Christmas. So that's, if I'm planning content, that's something I just discovered thanks to this related terms right here. So definitely click on those. You might be surprised at what you find out. I mean, as you predict, this peaks the beginning of December. It really starts going up right at Halloween. That's when the stores take down all their Halloween stuff, put up their Christmas stuff. That's inspiring others. So remember, you want to have your content out there 45 to 90 days in advance. So if you want to be ready, let's say November 1st, then you need to have your Christmas content going on September 1st. So I'd write that down on my worksheet. I would write down Christmas tree decorations, ribbon on Christmas tree ideas, and I would write that down to have it ready 45 to 90 days in advance. Okay, once again, you can come down and see some examples of those pins. I want to see the ribbon on Christmas tree ideas pin. So what I'm thinking, this would be good if you're trying to create this kind of content. You could, of course, share a Christmas tree where you show how to put ribbon on a Christmas tree. That would be great. Another thing that you could share that would probably do very well with this topic is roundup. So anything that has the word ideas in it is sort of like just begging for a roundup. If you could create a pin that had a few different pictures like this and said 15 different ways to put ribbon on your Christmas tree, great ideas, easy DIYs, I mean, that would crush it. And look up here. Here's some keywords it's giving you to go ahead and feed into those pins. So this is just a great way to discover new content ideas, see when you want to schedule it. So remember, 45 to 90 days before you see this peak, and to really flesh out those ideas. The more content that you create, if you write just one post on Christmas tree, you're not going to do as well as if you do posts for each, or at least pins with each of these different subtopics. 100 Pinterest trends at the bottom. This is something they put out every year. Let's visit it. It's going to open a new tab on your browser. And these are the top 100 Pinterest trends for the year. And it's a whole little bit that you could go through and see if any of these things sort of follow your niche or your interests. I will click on the conscious consumption. And it's cute, it's interactive. They give you a lot of information and they show you pins that are up over last year and keywords you might want to target. The one thing that I will warn you about this is that this is pushed out all year long to everyone. So a lot of these things get super, super saturated because everyone sees like solar light crafts. Okay, that's trending. Let's make a bunch of those. Not to say you shouldn't do it, but just keep that in mind that maybe solar light crafts is going to be really competitive now. But if you pop in here, you can see some of these subcategories. And maybe you could build something for these subcategories specifically. So maybe you can come up with a shepherd's hook solar light craft. That would probably do pretty well. You just want to remember that anything that you go for really big, that is going to be really popular, like these 100 trends, is going to be competitive, and your pin might show for a little while but might quickly get replaced by other pins since so many people are putting out this type of content. So I just wanted to give you that as a little heads up. A project. So here I have the PDF pulled up. You could print this out or you could do whatever you like to do with PDFs. Really easy. You're going to identify an initial keyword and then we're just going to pull some other data on it to help you make a plan. I'm going to go just here at trendspinterest.com. I'm going to go with just pool party ideas since that's sitting here and that interests me. Okay, so you can see the chart for your pool party ideas. And so under initial keyword, you would write pool party ideas. For the peak date, we'd come in here and say June 2nd, 2019. And so your post date is going to be 2 to 3 months prior. So I would go ahead and write March 2nd through April 2nd of the year. Now we're going to pull our related keywords. We have pool party ideas for kids, ideas for adults, pool party food ideas. So you can go through here, click any that you like. You could also type in some related terms up here if you wanted to do 4th of July party. Maybe that's kind of what you're thinking, a pool party, 4th of July party. Then you would add that as a related keyword with your peak date being July 7th, and so your post date would be 2 to 3 months prior to that. So go ahead and repeat that and try and come up with a few different related keywords. I would say at least 5 different ones. Now, how you're going to use this is to create content, whether it is new blog posts, products that you already have, just pins or promotion of old products or old blog posts that you've created. This is going to create a schedule and give you some incentive to go ahead and get this stuff going early. You could do this for 12 different trends, 12 different keywords, and kind of calendar out your whole year looking forward. The final section that I have is on similar pins. This is a really important step, I think, that people will skip over. So that's under these popular pins when you click. You want to come in here and just take some notes on these. So anything that says promoted, ignore that. But you want to look for trends. And in this pool party, we're seeing a lot of blue, a lot of pink. We're seeing a lot of zoomed in pictures of food. You know, look at the different patterns that you're seeing and just take notes in this note section. Also take notes of these keywords that are going to pop up across the top. And you're going to use these to create content, to create roundups of content, put them in your pin titles, your pin descriptions, your hashtags. This is free keyword research from Pinterest. Then you'll have filled out this whole worksheet and you can use it, fill out a bunch of these, stack them up, put them in order, and use it to create your content calendar going forward.
Guys, I hope that these little tutorials helped you to get some ideas of how you could use the new Trends tool on Pinterest to plan content better, come up with ideas for new content to make you a thorough expert covering all aspects of a topic, and to help you figure out how to time different projects that you're putting out, or maybe if you were promoting old pins from prior years, how to better schedule that to maximize your success on Pinterest. I hope that this really helped you. If I can help you in any way, you can feel free to message me, send me an email. I'm just a blogger who loves Pinterest, but I would love to help you out.